Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be trying out Feixiao. We've been granted access to the creator experience server and today we get to try out the limited new character Feixiao, who is scheduled to be coming out next update in just a couple of days. Now I should say before we start this that I am on the creator experience server. Therefore, this footage isn't fully indicative of the final product, but regardless, let's go try out Feixiao because she's a pretty damn cool character and I know a lot of us will be pulling for her. She is going to be a hunt win character, of course, and generally the hunt characters I feel like are a little bit weaker than some of like the destruction characters like Firefly or the nihility characters like Acheron, but today we have our hunt Acheron, if you will. So let's show her off. The first thing we're going to try is her technique, which is pretty cool. You can use it anywhere in the overworld, and as you can see, it zooms up all the enemies around you and they just go into a big circle around you, and then eventually you can hit them and enter battle. It's so sick. It's so cool. That does a lot more than just that though. The other thing that does is give you 1 point of flying Aureus, which links into her talent, which we'll talk about a little more later. Also, I should note that this is a guaranteed critical hit, and the more enemies you pull in, the more damage you do. Anyways, let's show off Feixiao. First thing, let's do her normal attack, which is simply a normal attack. That's simple, not too hard to understand there. Next thing, her skill is also a single target normal attack, but there's a little bit extra here. One, as you saw there, we got a little follow-up. It's very fast. In fact, she's just all around a very fast character to play. But yes, when you launch the skill, you're going to get an additional follow-up, and you're going to get this thing called Bolt Catch, which gives an attack increase of 48% for 3 turns. Now, I'm sure you noticed as we were killing this trotter, we're starting to gain stacks of something in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see we're starting to build up points. We have half of a point right now. You see the green circle is filling up half of the bar. Essentially, whenever we do an attack, we fill up half that bar and get a point of something called Flying Aureus. You see if we attack with Feixiao, we're going to get half a point and build it up. We attack with Aventurine, we get half a point. We don't quite get it, but then we do another attack and then we get it. This all links back to her talent. Her talent is called Flying Aureus, which is basically point accumulation, which you can get up to 12 of these, and you gain 1 point for every 2 attacks. Thanks to an additional ability called Heaven's Path, you actually get 3 of these right as you enter battle, and it's actually pretty easy to accumulate these over a certain amount of time. When you get 6 of these in total, you're actually able to release her ultimate attack. As easy as that. It's similar to Acheron in the sense that you need to stack up something other than energy to get your ultimate. Then you can release it and do one of the coolest animations in the entire game and absolutely decimate the enemy into a million pieces. And then, because we had 12 and we saved up even more, we can actually just go in and do another ultimate attack if we didn't win the fight there. I should also note that this talent makes you go like incredibly fast. You can move at the speed of light with this. Anyways, we back. Let's build up her ultimate again. We got to get this thing up as fast as possible. There we go. We got it back. Boom. Let's use it again. Here we go. Now, you'll probably notice that we are actually able to break ultimate bars with this ultimate, regardless of the type weakness. You can see we can break this little guy right here if we want to. We have a lot of options. Regardless of the type weaknesses of the enemy, Feixiao is going to break no matter what. And this break actually means a lot because it's going to determine which attack she does. If the target is already weakness broken, she's going to do something called Bolt Thunder Bliss. If the target is not weakness broken, then you're going to do War Axe Skyward. And those are the 2 different things you're going to do. So because none of the enemies here are weakness broken, we're going to do the Prior and just do the normal one. Like this. Wabam, wabam, wabam. Boom. Huge hit. You can see she does a crap ton of damage. I call her the Hunt Acheron. I should also note, thanks to another bonus effect, that this ultimate is actually considered to be follow-up attack damage and has its crit damage increased thanks to that. Also, something else to note about her kit is that she does a crap ton of follow-up attacks. She does more follow-up attacks than any character. After using skill, follow-up attack. After literally any of our characters attack, she does a follow-up attack. Any single one. It can only activate once per turn though, but anytime use a character attack during a turn, you just get an additional follow-up attack from Feixiao. It's really powerful. Aventurine, Feixiao. It legit does not matter. There's no qualifications for it. It's just one time per turn, you get a free follow-up attack. It's really nice. And this is why she works particularly well with a character like Robin, who can give you more turns. If we use Robin's ultimate here, we're actually able to get even more turns, which allows Feixiao to get even more follow-up attacks and do some crazy stuff. Again, another follow attack from a skill for free. Again, this of course also allows Feixiao to get even more points which makes her and Robin a really strong pairing, to be honest. And like, we just won. Some other things that help Feixiao a lot are her Eidolons. You do have the option of getting these. These make her especially good in follow-up attack teams. I like to highlight her E2, which actually makes it so whenever your other characters use follow-up attacks, she gains a point of flying Arius no matter what, which makes her really good in follow-up attack teams. E4 helps as well, which reduces the toughness reduction by 100% and increases speed. So that's another really solid one. Although only spend money, of course, if you have the ability to do so. You never need to spend money in games like this. But if you do have the luxury, get it. Of course, her Lightcones also going to help as well, especially because it gives this little thing called Lumen Flux. Now, you might have seen that when we were in battle there. Lumen Flux is an absolutely broken ability. You'll see here, for each little stack of Lumen Flux that we get, we're going to increase our ultimate damage to ignore defense by 27%. That is really crazy, especially on a character who does a ton of ultimate damage. Now, how do we get this stack? Well, it's pretty simple. We just have to launch a follow-up attack. And if you know Feixiao, she releases a crap ton of follow-up attacks. Unfortunately, you can only stack this up to 2 times, so you cannot get that many stacks of it. But regardless, 2 stacks of Lumen Flux is still like an incredible amount of defense shred on the enemy. And if you're able to stack that up with other characters like Pela, you can do some absolutely nutty damage and just decimate the enemy. I should also note that in this ultimate state, you do have the option of E and Q, but actually on PC, you can just press spacebar and it'll just choose the most appropriate choice for you, and you don't even really have to think about it. You can just spam that, easy peasy, day's done. You don't even have to think about things. Next up, I just want to go into some compositions for Feixiao. There are a lot that you can go with. Generally, my recommendation is having Feixiao in the first slot with some sort of sub DPS that's more preferably a follow-up attack character. For example, somebody like Topaz, somebody like Yun Li could even be a good option. March 7th is another pretty good option. Lots of good follow-up attack characters. So you want one of those in your little second slot. Then for your third slot, you want some sort of support. Robin is going to be by far your best option. However, if you don't have Robin, there are other options. For example, Zhao Q is really good because he buffs ultimate damage. Sparkle is really good for skill point sustainment. Ron Mei for a break effect and to keep the enemy broken. And even Bronya is a good option for crit damage boost. Then for that last slot, all you're really going to need is a sustainer. It can be anybody, Gepard, Luocha, Adventurine, really doesn't matter. Just any sustainer and you're good to go. And this could be your secure team. Now let's get a little into the Lightcone options because there are a lot of Lightcones for her. Generally, she's the same as every other DPS character and you just want stats like crit rate, damage, speed, attack percent, all the good stuff. So for her Lightcones, her best in slot is obviously going to be her signature Lightcone. Need I say anymore? We talked about it earlier. However, some other good options include Baptism of Pure Thought. Gives a lot of crit damage, gives some ultimate damage. Overall, really good piece. Cele's signature can be really good as well. However, as for the 4 stars and the ones that most free-to-plays, including myself, will probably end up picking up, you have stuff like Cruising in the Stellar Sea, which gives more crit rate, attack percent, a lot of good stuff. And then the one I'd highly recommend if you're not going to use Cruising in the Stellar Sea would be Swordplay, just because she's a hunt character, and I'm going to be honest, this is just objectively the best 4-star hunt Lightcone, in my opinion. I said objectively and in my opinion there, but you get the idea. Other than that, not too many options I would recommend. If you can, go with Cruising in the Stellar Sea, go with Swordplay. Those will be your best 2 options for free-to-play / low spender. Regardless, let's move on to Relics, which will be the last thing that we talk about in today's video, and what Relics you're going to want with your little Feixiao. So generally, her best 4-piece is going to be the 4-piece Wind Soaring Valorous. This is good because, of course, the increase in ultimate damage, which again is insane for her. After you use a follow-up attack, you increase your ultimate damage by 36%. So if you stack that with the Lightcone, which ignores defense with your ultimate damage, your ultimates are going to do absolutely insane nutty damage. However, if you don't have the 4-piece and you just need to work with other pieces, you can just opt for a mix of 2 pieces like 2-piece attack percents, 2-piece wind damage bonus is not bad, 2-piece speed isn't a bad option, and the 2-piece follow-up attack also is not a terrible option. There are lots of good 2 pieces that you can mix together, but generally you are going to want to aim for this 4-piece Valorous. Then for her planar ornament, her best in slot is going to be the Durin Dynasty of Running Wolves, which again, more follow-up attack damage. and more crit damage. Really good set. Highly recommend getting this one for her. If you don't have that, there are other good options, however. Azumu Gensei, if you're pairing her with another hunt character, can be really good. Space Sealing Station is just fine. Inert Solo Soto increases follow-up attack damage and ultimate damage. This is a fine one. Brilliant Arena also isn't terrible. If you're able to get to 70% crit rate, then this one's just fine. Lots of good options, but generally I would recommend Durin Dynasty of Running Wolves. Then for your stats, you're going to want to go to your relics and just generally try to get a 1-to-2 ratio of crit rate to crit damage. So 50% crit rate to 100% crit damage. And for that, you're most generally going to want a crit rate body, but you can opt for a crit damage body if you have enough crit rate. For example, on this build, I have 93% crit rate, so I would probably more optimally run a crit damage body. Then for your boots, you're going to want speed. Obviously, on any good DPS character, you're going to want to aim for 134 speed. And Feixiao is the exact same. You're going to want 134 to get the double turn. Orb, wind damage boost, pretty obvious. And then rope, attack percent, again, pretty obvious, just more damage. And then the stub stats are just going to be crit rate damage as your highest priority, followed by speed and attack percent. And now for the final segment, I do just want to do a little Feixiao showcase to show how capable she is in MOC. Unfortunately, I only have up to MOC 7 unlocked on this account, so we can only do this one, but that's fine. We're going to do her, Topaz, Robin, Adventurine, and that's one of my favorite teams. We can swap out Adventurine there. I'm a big fan of some other characters like Gallagher, Natasha. A lot of characters can work there, but we're going to stick with him for today, and let's go all in. And Feixiao, it's time to prove how good you really are. You're about to wreck house. Throw up a support, throw up the Topaz support, and let's go all in. Onrush, get them. It doesn't even matter your weakness. The weakness typings, they just don't matter anymore. Pairing typing, Silverwolf, who cares? All I care about, Feixiao. We already have our ultimate. It's because she gets the 3 things at the start of the battle. So you basically get your ultimate immediately, regardless of what you do. And it's very easy to just start like destroying things. We spam the space bar, boom, 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 and the coolest ultimate of all time, and do 100k unbuffed. Actually, I think we had the Robin buff, so not completely unbuffed. Oh no, who's he putting to sleep? Oh, nice effect res, good stuff. And of course, we're going to do another attack. We're going to get 3 stacks. We're going to use Robin to bring up all of our characters so we can get even more stacks so that we can get a secondary ultimate. Here we go. We're going to get another ultimate. And because we get all these follow-up attacks, it's so easy for us to get up our ultimate. Look at that. We have it up again. It's so free. It's so free. We have it up again, man. We're going to spam the spacebar again, go all off, and insta-kill the enemy. Oh my gosh, 260k singular damage. Scaling has gone through the roof. Oh my goodness. The enemy's dead. Oh my gosh. Well, my friends, that is the power of Feixiao. She is an insane character, to be honest. She may honestly be the second coming of Acheron, except single target. Let me know what you think about her down below. But regardless, that's going to be all for me today, guys. I really hope you do enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. That's going to be all for me, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.